Oh yeah. Let them gaze at it, Ray. Let them take it all in.
I had words for it, but then I couldn't say it.
You're
Welcome
kind
back,
man.
ladies. FRW Podcast, Former Wrestling Podcast. I am Mr. KS Ray. That is not Chris. That is Mr. Robbie Cutthroat, Robert Miller. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, thank you, man. It's been a little while, and it's nice to be back with the boys.
Well, one of the boys is somebody gave him permission to go out of town. It wasn't me, but there will be a dock in his pay. There will be a dock in it.
Yeah, that just goes what I've been trying to tell you all along. I believe the guy's uncommitted.
Some people think they have PTO and they don't. I don't give PTO.
You don't get no PTO.
Yeah, you don't get no paid time off here. You don't even get paid when you are here.
I'm depressed. I thought he was going to be on tonight. I had the guns loaded for ways I was going to offend him.
Oh gosh, you can still offend him. I'm pretty sure he's watching. You can offend him. It's okay.
Funny thing is, sometimes I agree with some of the shit he says over you, which is sometimes.
Jeez, everybody should agree. You know it's right.
Ray, do I look all right on the camera?
You look just like you.
Oh, because I was wondering, because I'm kind of lagging on my side, but I see you fine. So as long as you can see me.
I am the most better looking of the two. So
yes, we know. There we go. Now now I'm doing good. I'm here. I was just kind of a little off center there, but okay, I'm cool. Hey, Julie, you're watching. Thanks.
So, I don't know where you want to start with this week in wrestling. There's a lot of dumb shit being said, a lot of dumb shit being done.
Throw one at me, man. Throw one at me.
I'll let you pick. We can play Guess Who Said This?
Okay.
Or we can play How Big of a Dumbass Am I? Which one do you want to play?
Oh God. Chewing my nails over this. Did I nail it?
Chewing my nails over. Yeah, you got it.
Okay, I'll start it off like this, dude. I fucking appreciate the extremeness of it. I do. But was it a fucking dumb thing to do? Like, absolutely, like physically stupid thing to do. I mean, we were talking about it before the show. Anything could have happened, man. He could have died right there. He could have literally.
He could have, dude, what is wrong with you? And somebody pointed out, look, you're doing this in front of not a lot of people.
Right. I didn't even think about that aspect of it. Now I'm really depressed.
You're not doing this on a WrestleMania stage. You're doing this in front of 1,100 people.
Well, I mean, that being said, I can think of a few people that were probably drenching over it, if you know what I'm saying.
God.
Splash Mountain, baby. They got some diehards, man. They were just creaming.
Look at that, bro.
Yeah.
Look at that. Why would you do this?
I don't know, man. What do you think?
Here's the messed up part. That didn't end the match.
Right. It went on for a good, another 5 minutes? Maybe 4 minutes. Because there was all this outside interference. It was all.
I just want somebody to make it make sense to me. Somebody make it make sense to me. There you go.
Mox wins. Mox bleeds. That's the formula.
Explain to me how the guy who gets beat up the most is the world heavyweight champion. Explain to me how the guy that gets beat up the most keeps winning. Is he Superman?
No, he's just the best. He's just the most well-known guy they got.
Is he though?
When you look at the Shield. It had a pretty big cult following.
I want to say Edge is bigger than Moxley. I want to say that.
Edge was bigger than Moxley.
To this day.
Now Mox is bigger than Cope.
Yeah, nobody knows who Cope is. I'll give you that. But Edge is way more bigger than, and no homo. I'm not talking about that type of big. I'm talking about as far as character, as far as people knowing who he is.
Oh, you could say the same thing about Jericho.
Nobody knows Jericho. And if they do,
he was the first undisputed champion.
Yeah, only wrestling fans know that.
You cannot ever take that away from the man.
You can't, but only wrestling fans know that.
He was the guy that bridged what, when as kids, kayfabe, we thought was unbridgeable. WWE, NWA, WCW, whatever.
That was done way before Jericho, bro.
Oh, well, you talk about like Shea Stadium. You talk about San Martino versus.
You can bridge those two. I mean, Hulk Hogan going to WCW.
But not as one collective unit where they had one, the championships. Like one champion, one who had both championships. That was hot. And I'll tell you, the only reason he got that spot, and I'll say this to my dying day, I don't know. I've never actually don't think I've heard it said on a podcast, but I could be wrong, that if Triple H hadn't been injured, he would have been in that position. But because Triple H was kind of out of the equation, Jericho was kind of a good stand-in.
That sounds plausible. I'm not taking that away from him, but what I'm saying is only diehard wrestling fans know Jericho still wrestles.
Okay, fair enough. I just saw him. He was in the Terrifier 3 movie, and he got disemboweled.
What is Terrifier 3?
Terrifier 3, it's those horror movies with the clown. I got the mask here.
I thought that was I remember the face, but I don't think I've ever seen one of the movies.
They're all like on Tubi. They started off with like since we'll do a little pop culture for Chris here. No, it started off like with it was like a kind of like a creep show anthology thing called Hallows. I think it was called Hallows Eve. And it was like for Halloween, and he had a little skit in there. And then they basically they made one independent movie. They're all independent movies, but they made one real low budget one that was in another anthology. Then they made the Terrifier, and which was like just like a remake of the first one, and then they had Terrifier 2, and then they just had Terrifier 3 come out at the movie theater, and I guess it was the highest grossing independent movie of all time. But it's like gore fest. Like I'm talking, you're going way back to Fangoria days, dude. Like repulsive stuff. I'm not even lying about this, dude. I'll get Julie to fucking tell you this like over the phone if you don't believe me. It was Halloween. It was we went right around Halloween time. She didn't want to go see it. She's like watched a few moments of the movies, and they're like all on Tubi, dude. And she would stop watching it. So I was like, "Hey, come on," And she's like, "No, those movies disturb me. Those movies make me feel ill." And I'm like, "Come on, it's Halloween." I'm like, if it wasn't Halloween, I would have totally go, yeah. But I go, come on, that's when you go and see effed up stuff on Halloween. So we went, dude. We got our popcorn, we got our drinks, dude. Got like some nachos. We're sitting there, dude. My wife starts covering her face like within the first 5 minutes, dude, covering her face up. And then she goes to the back. She's like, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom." And dude, I'm sitting there watching the movie, eating my popcorn. All of a sudden, I'm like, "Dude, where'd that bitch go? I don't know, she die or something?" And so I fucking finally I look at my phone to call her, and she's texted me, and she's like, "I'm waiting in the lobby. Enjoy your movie." Which I didn't. Which she knew I wouldn't. Sorry. These are therapy sessions, man. I'm sorry.
These things only happen to you.
But no, you check them out. Don't let your kids watch them until you watch it first. There's some pretty heinous stuff in there, dude.
You want to talk about horror? This is horrible. This is horrible.
That's the first ever undisputed champion, man. Show the guy some respect. And I believe there's a rumor out there that he invented The ladder match? The Money in the Bank briefcase match.
I don't know if he invented it. He came together with some other people with the concept of it. I don't think he invented it, but he can give him all the credit in the world. That right there was just horrible. That is disgusting. That is not the first. What you call him? That is not the guy that unified the titles. That is a guy who had sat around the pool and drank one too many Coors Lights.
He does. If you're the first ever undisputed champion, I think you have that right, Ray.
No, you have the right to. If you're gonna look like that, go home. Just go home. Just go home.
Maybe he's growing into his Dusty Rhodes body. Come on.
No.
Can't believe you're body shaming people, Ray.
Yes. I'm body shaming Chris Jericho. Look, if you're gonna put yourself out there, you got to take the good with the bad. You want to take the praise, you got to take the criticism. Sorry. It's just how it is.
So is it true? Let's look up the rumor mill. Is it true that Alexa Bliss is already being phased out? Like
no, stop. I'm gonna tell you, like I tell my other co-host Chris, you've heard this. Stop reading these random pages. She was pulled.
This is just shit that just shows up on my phone, dude. I don't have no choice to, but I don't click on it. I never click on. I click on you, and I go, "Is this true?"
The algorithm knows you look up dumb shit, so it sends you dumb shit to look.
I don't look up dumb shit.
The algorithm doesn't lie, bro. The algorithm doesn't.
I do see a lot of dumb shit. I will admit to that.
Yeah.
So no. What is it? K-Fit? I hear all these rumors about the Wyatts, Alexa Bliss maybe being a part of it. I even heard like Braun Strowman. I don't know, man. I think they're doing a real good job.
I'm gonna give you the best advice I can give any wrestling fan when it comes to the internet and when it comes to these rumors and stories and all this stuff. I'm gonna give you the best advice anyone will ever give you. Dumb shit, Rob.
I said the same thing myself, and guess what? I looked like a fool when CM Punk showed up back. I was like, nah, I ain't believing it till it happens. Fuck that. You ain't getting me again.
That's the advice. Don't believe it until it happens.
That's the way that's what I owe it my mom. Old people, they get crazy when it comes to wrestling. Even to this day, dude, my mom, dude, who watches me do these podcasts, she like watches me watch documentaries. We watch the documentaries together. We love watching wrestling together. And they'll have two people be in a match, dude, and somebody will run out there and she'll be like, why can't they just let them fight?
Yeah, Chris hates to pull apart too. He hates some things.
So I'll be like, well, Mom, this guy has a push right now and he can't lose. And the other guy he's facing, he's at a state right now where if he loses, he's going to be nothing. So neither of them can win. And the best way to do that is have some jackass jump in the ring.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this. Don't believe that until it happens. And these people, right? See, here's why you shouldn't believe that. Nobody believes their shit stinks until you actually smell it.
I'm gonna write that one down.
Everybody,
I'm gonna write that one down. That's some clean advice right there, man.
These people, they go around, they typing all this shit out there, they putting all this stuff out. They want to be, I don't know, the next Dave Meltzer. Why would you want to be that guy? We'll get to him in a minute.
Why is Chris talking shit?
That's what he does. But they go around, they want to be I know everything about wrestling, Mr. Know-it-all wrestling. And until they put out something and then somebody calls them on it or it doesn't happen, and they be like, they come up with the same excuses. Oh well, this happened and that happened, this changed that. No. They
try to like give you the play-by-play of how it went away from what they said it was gonna be.
Here's a tip, and I'm giving this. I'm a small town podcaster. If people who do other podcasts have way better numbers than we do, fine, great. You want to listen to them? Okay. Here's the thing. Here's a tip. Not a tip, a tell, right? When these podcasts is like, when they say stuff like, I know I spoke with somebody that works for the company. I'm not going to tell you who it is. Okay, here's the hole in that logic, right? you spoke to somebody, okay? I doubt if you spoke to somebody in creative. I doubt that.
Yeah. Oh, you dude, he probably talked to Reggie, who was fucking like, taking the tickets at the sportatorium where he was at, Hey, Reggie, what do you think's going to happen?
If you did speak to a wrestler, you spoke to somebody who wrestles on main event. Okay. Somebody in that stature. But either way, if you spoke to somebody that work in the company, okay. But you can't I don't want to say their name. Motherfucker. Nobody knows who John in the back pulling cable is. Nobody knows that. Why are you protecting his identity?
Yeah, fuck it. Throw him under the bus, man.
His boss is not
name your source, dude. Name your source or shut the fuck up.
His boss is not listening to your podcast, bro. He's not. Nobody's going to hear that. Nobody's going to hear that and go talk to Johnny. And why did you tell that?
Yeah, especially when Johnny's got this rocking podcast. Johnny's just going to keep it to himself. And no one's going to put two and two together if it's a high-ranking person, who might know, that, hey, your friend told a friend who does this podcast. Don't you know that guy? Doesn't your friend know that guy?
There's some podcasters who I refereed on the indies, and so if you refereed on the indies, and if you see people who are coming off their high top career, they go back to doing indie shows, and I reffed a match with this guy. Okay, he's been out of the spotlight for 15 years, and you reffed his indie match. Okay, good. So now he's gonna. So that's your claim. You didn't ref his match when he was wrestling on Raw or SmackDown. You reffed his match when he was wrestling in front of 200 people in a fucking gym.
Right.
Calm down. You're not in the wrestling business. You're a weekend warrior.
Weekend warrior, dude. Exactly like you're doing National Guard service, dude. You're training like you're in Beirut, and you're really in the suburbs.
And here's the other thing: why would a top-ranking official in any company, AEW or WWE, talk to this guy?
Why would they talk to anybody unless it was to spread misinformation?
There's a major secret going on behind the scenes at SmackDown. There's a spoiler, and he's going to call this guy, this random guy on the YouTube show.
Hey.
He's going to tell you, shut up.
You ever see that new M. Night Shyamalan movie, dude? Trap with Josh Hartnett.
I'm gonna be real with you. If the movie didn't come out between the years of 85 and 95,
oh fuck,
I ain't seen it, bro. I don't watch any. I keep people looking at me crazy when I say this. I don't even know if it's Marvel or DC, but I saw Black Panther, and I fell asleep on that.
Marvel.
I fell asleep on that. Okay, so I didn't even see the whole movie. All this new shit.
Long movie.
The newest movie I saw was Gladiator 2.
Oh, which one? The one on
the one with Denzel.
The dark web or the new web?
I saw the one that was on Prime.
No, it was a great movie. I like that.
No,
I liked it.
What is this dark web? What is this dark web? What is this? What is that?
It was a good movie.
Is that the web for black people? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, the dark web. Where like the pornos are. That's what I was saying. Gladiator. I
forgot who I was talking to.
I know. I get that, dude. You're like, dude, come on, man.
I know someone who knows someone who knows someone that has a dog that once belonged to the Brooklyn Brawler, and he said that the Yeet guy is going to get a sneak attack this week.
Ray, I got a question for you. Do you think Jimmy's downplaying himself? I kind of get that feeling like Jimmy's either downplaying himself or he really isn't as good as Jay.
I don't think he's down. I think he's playing his role. I don't think he's downplaying himself.
I don't know, man. I think he's got more charisma, but I think Jay's better in the ring. I think they should swap fucking abilities and they would both be great.
I think Jay has more charisma.
Yeah, you think Jay has more charisma? I think Jimmy does. I really do. I don't know. To me, he just seems more laid back, more real.
Jimmy is sneaky funny. He's not out loud funny. He's sneaky funny. Like he'll like when the OG Bloodline was doing stuff in the ring, he was the one, standing behind crack making everybody laugh.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
all, he sneak funny. He not the loud funny. Like he not gonna go out there and be loud like Jay.
Jay was kind of, I kind of remember Jay was kind of the laid back one, he was the younger brother in the sense that he came out second.
Jimmy was getting more shine because he was married to Naomi, and he was
Yeah,
doing he was doing. Everybody knew Jimmy first because he was on the Diva show.
Diva show, and he was a little bit more pimped out, like Jay kind of was kind of a little bit on the under the radar. And then they kind of flipped that script. But I'm kind of, like I said, dude, I'm thinking, like, I'm trying to analyze it, and if I'm thinking of their athletic ability, maybe it's because Jay's a little more fit. I don't know, because Jay's always kind of been he's slimmed down since he came back, but he's always a little bit more thicker than Jimmy. But I don't know. I just think I think Jay's a machine in the ring, dude.
Jay is your next world champion.
You think, yeah, I'm starting to believe that myself. I'm kind of I've been thinking about it.
They're not going to do the same thing to him they did to Cody. Cody could, I'm not going to say could survive 2 losses at WrestleMania or a loss at WrestleMania, but the story was, you were so entrenched in that story that him losing that first WrestleMania match made him, more people got behind him because so many people were so upset. And which was the intent, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we gonna get that here. I think you're gonna do all this with Jay. He gonna get that title, and he'll probably have it till SummerSlam. Which is for him is a good run.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. It's like Kofi Kingston or Big E or fucking say.
And who's to say he won't win it again?
Huh? Oh yeah.
Who's to say he won't?
Who's to say? Yeah. Never say never, but yeah, just to get that rub, even if it's for a while, dude, a little while, dude. There's not no wrong on that. There are people that give their whole careers for that. But hey, I was wondering, like, I remember back with WrestleManias, dude. I was always looking forward to the Undertaker matches because the streak, dude. To me, that was sometimes even when like WrestleMania with The Rock versus Cena. I was interested to see him and watch him and know who won and stuff. But dude, like when you think of those WrestleManias, dude, like you think of the Undertaker streak, right? Maybe not the Hell in a Cell matches with Triple H, and maybe not the Triple H ones, but always like thinking of that. So when the Undertaker streak ended, boom, it's like WrestleMania never feel the same, right? So now Roman Reigns not in a main event, or at least not for a championship. Does that kind of bring up that almost same kind of like there's something wrong? Like, oh, something don't feel right in the universe.
Because the way I've viewed wrestling, which is why I don't get so upset about stuff most people get upset about. The way I view wrestling, I look at it like this: you got 10 top guys that can main event WrestleMania right now.
Yeah, that's all. You never say that before.
Some more over than others, but you got a Seth Rollins, you got a CM Punk, you got a Roman Reigns, you got a Cody Rhodes, you got a Gunther, you got probably at the bottom of that list, a Damian Priest, you got a Drew McIntyre,
Jey Uso.
You got probably at the bottom of this list, Sami Zayn. You got a Kevin Owens, Randy Orton.
Yeah,
you got a lot of top guys. And
you can mix and match those guys any combination you want, but they got plenty to play with.
Underneath those guys, you got a Jimmy Uso, you got a Solo Sikoa, you got a Jacob Fatu. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Even some people might even bump him up.
Yeah, which after Mania, I'd say this is to another person I was talking about. They were talking about what's Theory? What's his first name?
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory, yeah, Austin Theory. After Mania, you're gonna see a lot of these top guys, fall back a little bit. You got room for Jacob Fatu to come up. You got room for Austin Theory to come up to make him, mean something. The system, the pipeline is we good. You know what I'm saying? So
that.
And then they just like they made what's the Australian dude that broke his ankle? Just like they made him a beast in 10 minutes. He was a beast. What's the big dude that was doing the splash? Bronson Reed.
Oh, Bronson Reed. Yeah, dude, love that guy, man. I can't
He,
wait.
he went from
When he shows back up, you're gonna hear a pop, dude, like you never heard before.
in one segment when he kept splashing Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
He went from here to there. So they can do that, and they got people right there they can do that with. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen to Jacob Fatu. He's already there.
Yeah.
They're going to give him something, and he's going to be there, and then you got him for 2 or 3 years. So
yeah, and you know
let's
in a good
go ahead.
place. Oh, wrestling's in a great place right now. Best it's ever been. Best it's been since the
80s.
I don't even know when, man. I mean, yeah, there was always you go back to the 80s. We've talked about that before, dude. There was some boring shit in the golden era with Hogan. There was some fucking like boring shit in the Attitude Era. There was shit that you couldn't even stand to watch, dude. Like they might have Stone Cold and The Rock in the main event, but there was some shit filling up that card that you was dog shit.
I mean, in the 80s, WWF, NWA, I wouldn't watch some of it now, but back then, first run, I was in for it. Yeah. Let's go to the second one before we close this one out. Who said this dumb shit?
Okay.
So as we know, Lex Luger is going into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Lex Luger.
Yeah.
Lex Luger wants Sting to induct him, which makes sense, right? That's
totally makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's a person who said, I forgot all about that guy, but LA Knight. There's a person who said, if he were Tony Khan, he would not let Sting induct Lex Luger into the Hall of Fame because of what. If you remember a few years ago, they let Billy Gunn come to the Hall of Fame, and Triple H called him.
Made him snark remark about AEW. Yeah.
Okay, so because of that, and the only way he will let Sting do it is if Triple H apologizes.
Well, that ain't gonna happen, man. Who said that? What anus said that?
Take a wild guess.
Chris?
No, this is a wrestling journalist said this.
Meltzer. Cornette. I don't
know. No, what was your first one?
Is it Meltzer? Yeah. Okay.
Round of applause. You got that right.
I think he's just pissed off because he's out of the loop. And now he's very bitter.
Imagine saying some shit like that, bro.
That's just lame, dude. Totally lame, dude. You know what? If I'm a Tony Khan or I'm a Vince McMahon and I have a star of the caliber of Sting, graciously choosing to be with me, like even though they're the subpar company, second at best, right? I'm gonna tell Sting, you do whatever you want to do, brother. That works for me. I gotta tell. He's not an active member of the roster in the sense that he's making or breaking. You let Sting do what he fucking wants to do, and if Sting wants to, then fucking I think he should too.
Here's something you haven't heard me say for a while. Let me be your reality check.
Okay.
Let's get real. Okay.
You gonna chime in on this one?
Sting is 70 years old almost.
Yeah.
If he's 70. If he's not 70, he's close to it.
Yeah. Okay? And Lex Luger is like is not too much younger, and he's in worse shape.
Well, DDP is getting him in better shape. That's
true.
Walking a little bit. So Sting's not wrestling anymore. That's number one. So we're not saving him for that. At the most, he's going to make an appearance. If he's ever on AEW TV again, he's just making an appearance. He's not doing anything.
All right.
Right. That's number one. Number two. I don't know if AEW has Legends contracts or whatever they call them there, but even if Sting is under one, what are you really paying him to do? Because as we've seen, Tony Khan will pay you to do nothing. So Sting's not out. He's not out when he goes to these signings and stuff like that. He's not promoting AEW. He's promoting Sting.
Yeah.
He's there because he's Sting. He's not there promoting. He's not doing it. You don't see anything unless somebody brings him something from AEW to sign. He don't have nothing hanging up from AEW.
Yeah.
All his stuff is Sting stuff. It's not AEW merch. It's his stuff. That's number 2. Number 3. How big of an asshole will you look like if you got Lex Luger going up there and everybody who's a wrestling fan knows the connection between him and Sting, and Sting's not there
Yeah.
And let it be, and God, somebody's going to put it out there. You're going to know that somebody from WWE contacted contacted Sting to see if he wants to do it. Now, if Sting says, I want to, but Tony Khan says I can't.
Yeah. Got a quick question for you before you wrap it up, though, Ray. So, say the stars don't align. Say people are assholes, and Sting don't get to induct Lex Luger into the Hall of Fame. Who would you pick? Who would you, if you had to pick a second? If you had to guess a second?
He said he wanted DDP and Sting. He wanted Sting on one side and DDP on the other side. So if Sting's not there, I would imagine DDP would be the one to do it. But
say he could get one of the Steiners to do it, but they're not very good talkers.
No, I mean, let's throw this out there. Who would you scratch Sting off the list? Take DDP off the list. Who's next to do it?
Probably Rick Steiner. Rick and Steiner, yeah.
That would. I mean, I'm pretty sure they would try their best to do a good job, but that would look so wrong, bro. It would just look wrong.
Yeah,
it would look wrong. Like the Steiners. I mean, they are friends.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah. I mean, Ric Flair would be a good choice.
Do we really want Ric Flair up there talking now?
I'm just saying. You're saying people. I'm trying to think of. Think of the rivalry with Rick and Lex, and they weren't using the Horsemen. There's a lot of history there too.
If this was 20 years ago, go ahead, Rick.
What about you? Okay, what about? I want to hear. I can't wait to hear what you think.
Outside of DDP and outside of Sting,
his wife, his son.
I don't think I don't think his kids are really fond of him at this moment. The only other person from WCW I can say would be Eric Bischoff.
That be maybe Nash.
Maybe Nash, but I don't think Nash would do it. I don't think they would ask Nash, and I don't think Nash would do it because Nash will tell you that should be Sting. Nash is the type of guy like, look, dude, I appreciate it. What you asked me, but Sting should be the one doing this. And I think if anybody else got asked to do it, I think they should say that.
Yeah,
I think they should say that. I think they should say, "Hey, I'm honored.
I'm standing in the place of Sting because he couldn't."
I wouldn't even go up there. I would be like, look, I would tell whoever asked me, Lex wants Sting. Call Sting. Don't call me. I'm honored to do it. I'm honored that you're thinking of me. But I know Lex wants Sting. Sting, there's nothing wrong with him. He's not sick. He can talk. He can move. He can fly. He can drive. However he needs to get there. He's in, I guess, the best shape you can be in for his age.
Yeah.
Get him.
Yeah, like I said,
that's what if they call me, that's what I would say. I wouldn't even.
To me, it's not a Tony Khan permission thing. To me, it's does Sting really want to do it? If Sting really wants to do it, there should be nothing. There should be nothing on God's green earth. Woo! That would stop him.
I don't know what.
I mean, I consider you, Ray. I consider you a very good friend of mine. If we were celebrities in life and we were as good of friends as we are as celebrities, we're in Hollywood and you were getting honored and I was working for another company, in any form, like you were working for Sony and I was working for whatever, and you asked me to induct you into a ceremony that meant a lot to you. And my boss said, no, you can't do it. And I was a millionaire and I had no worries about money. I had no worries about advancement of career. I'd be like, fuck you, sue me on this one because I'm fucking doing it.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah,
It's,
that's
that's
real.
I mean, that's grown. That's at the end of the day, that's grown man stuff. And if Tony Khan doesn't allow, I don't, just saying that sounds stupid coming out of my mouth. But if Tony Khan doesn't allow that to happen or gets in the way of that happening, he's not a he's a punk ass kid. He's not a real fucking man.
Yeah.
That,
And
that's it.
what is that? Who like? What do you think about it? What do you think about Sting if he doesn't make it happen? Do you take that as a shot on him, or is there any
I think
justification?
to me, I think if Lex and I know Sting wants Lex to do it. I mean, I know Sting knows Lex wants him to do it.
Yeah,
I don't see Sting. I don't see any scenario in which Sting says, "You know what? I can't do this." I don't think that's in him. I don't think he's. They're too close of friends, bro.
yeah,
Like you said, neither one of them is worried about money right now.
yeah. So I think we're both right here, putting our money on that Sting's going to be inducted Lex Luger into the Hall of Fame. Well, I can't wait. I can't wait. If it happens, we were justified, but I want to hear. I can't wait to have the conversation after. If it doesn't.
And to the fake ass wrestling journalist who said that, Mr. Dave Meltzer, yeah, I'm talking about you. This is why people with brains such as myself don't give two flying fucks, don't give any piece of monkey shit about what you think about anything having to do with wrestling.
Yeah, seriously. It used to be like you hear a Dave Meltzer report, like, oh man, and that's probably going to happen. Now I hear a Dave Meltzer prediction, and I'm like, he don't even know what he's talking about. He ain't even dealing with the same people anymore. I mean, WWE is a totally different company anymore.
I've never been a Dave Meltzer person. Look,
me neither, really.
And this goes for it. Look, I like reading people's opinions. I think people should have their own opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think people shouldn't. I'm not saying he shouldn't be out there telling his opinion. If you want to put out your opinion and people want to pay you for it, God bless you. What I'm saying,
man, what you're earning. Yeah.
What I'm saying is that's your opinion. And I don't base what I like or what I think is right or what I think is a good match or what I think is a good move or your opinion about what's going on behind the scenes. My thoughts on wrestling don't live and die with yours, sir. So, and I don't take them into consideration at all. So, with that being said, sir, thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you for joining me this week.
Thank you for the good conversation, man. That was good.
Maybe Chris will be back next week. Maybe he won't. That depends on if I dock his pay. So no, Chris should be back next week. And hopefully you come back next week.
Yeah, man, definitely. It's on my schedule.
Okay. I'm gonna hold you to it. All right, sir. For Robbie Cutthroat, Robert Miller, I am Mr. KS. This has been the Front Row Wrestling Podcast. We out.